Now let's look at some prokaryotic shapes. There are a few basic shapes that we always see. Coccus, the plural is cocci, is a round shape. It's basically 1-to-1. They look like these little tiny spheres all next to each other. We have the cocobacillus, which is about twice as long as it is wide. We have the bacillus, the plural is bacilli, which is about 3 times or more longer than it is wide. And if you look at bacilli, they often look like these little tubular shapes. We have the Vibrio, which is kind of a comma shape. Not really regular, but rather it tapers to one end. We have what is called the spirulum. The spirulum is a curved shape where it's a kind of bacillus that has been twisted or wrapped around. The spirulum often has a corkscrew-like shape and polar flagella. These are not flexible. The spirochete is elongate and thin. It's kind of twisted on an axis so that it gives it more of a stretched out elongate spring kind of look. These are very flexible. And we have pleomorphic, and pleomorphic says that the shape varies. One of the things we often talk about is cellular arrangement. In this particular case, if you look at a coccus can divide on one of 3 different planes. You call it an XYZ axis. If you get single division, we get single ones like that. You can have single ones where they kind of hold together, and we call that a diplococcus or a diplococci. You can have them where they form together in chains, and we call that a streptococcus or a streptococci. You could have them where they divide in 2 planes, but they hold together, in which case we'd call it a tetrad. Or 3 planes and hold together, and we call it a sarcina. And this is kind of a packet of 8, and you can get these in 8s and 16s going up like that. Or you could get them dividing in 3 planes where the 3 planes really aren't at right angles to each other. Then we would call that a staphylococcus. With bacilli, since they're elongate, you can get the single bacillus, you can get a diplobacillus, you can get a streptobacillus where they divide down like that. But again, you won't get much different than that because they're only dividing kind of like links on a sausage. We have a palisade, and a palisade is where they kind of go up and they stack and they kind of stay together. That's kind of difficult to see unless you're very careful when you make the preparation of these.